talk about some of the habits you have? We can talk about the strength, but one of the habits, you have a whole section on meetings. Tell us a little bit about your philosophy of meetings.
Well, thank you for pointing that out. There is one whole chapter on how to run an electric meeting.
Right.
And in most companies, meetings are a waste of time, in my opinion, because it's somebody getting up there with a PowerPoint presentation, giving a speech, people on their phones, people talking to each other, people not hearing most. It's a waste of time. You might as well just send that out as a pre-read, which is what we do. If the PowerPoints are fine, they should be read by people privately, not by someone up on stage reading it to everybody else. Then what we do is we have inclusive meetings in terms of setting the agenda. I don't set the agenda. I contribute to the agenda. But I empower everyone who's coming to that meeting to submit two things: what their biggest takeaways were from reading all the pre-reads and anything else they want to contribute to the purpose of that meeting, the topic of that meeting. And secondly, what's a question or two that they think is important enough for everyone to discuss and use our precious time together. And then we redistribute those, we vote on those on the app, scale of 1 to 10, and that's the agenda of the meeting. We go over from starting with the ones that were ranked as high and keep going until the time is up. This is a powerful way to do a meeting because it's not someone else setting the agenda. It's everyone in that meeting deciding what's important to do. But it can't stop there. It also has to be the rules of the meeting. And I don't have a lot of rules, but I got some rules. One rule is one person speaks at a time, and only one person speaks at a time.
It's like passing the conch, minus the Lord of the Flies, right?
Yes. And everyone has to give the attention of all their 100 billion brain cells to that one person. And people have to watch and listen very, very carefully, and not just listen and watch carefully, but non-judgmentally. People have to keep an attitude of respectfulness, and you can't fake that. It has to be genuine. It has to be cultivate an attitude of, I really want to hear your opinion, and I want to hear her opinion, I want to hear his opinion. And maybe after I hear their opinions, you know what, I may change my opinion. That is a wonderful meeting. That's one of respectfulness. That's one where you really are solving problems. You're solving problems and leaving that meeting with work streams that make big changes in the company and big improvements in the company and help you to create a few $1 billion.
Well, you talk about being 44 years. How do you manage differently now? Because this is cumulative knowledge than you did when you were starting out. You gave us the image of your professor saying, you're could have been a great jazz musician. But when you think about, has much changed, or is there anything when you think about particular techniques that you have learned that you wish you'd known 40 years ago?
Thousands of things. So yes, I learned every day, every year, and I recognize the things where I'm failing and where I can improve, and that's a good thing. Be aware of where the defects are. I guess I've changed a few fundamental things in particular, like compensation. So I used to be a little cheaper on compensation, a little more frugal on compensation, and then over the years I decided, you know what really works well is if I err on the side of overcompensating people and let people make lots and lots of money, only if it's tied to results. But if they perform and if they deliver results and if they help contribute to the success of the company, darn it, let them make a lot of money and let a lot of people make a lot of money. And that's the main reason people come to work. If people are honest and you say, well, why do you have a job? Why? It's because of this, because of this. But the main reason is you want to make money for yourself and the people you love. That's why people are coming in. They're not coming in to please me or to help me to accomplish things. They're coming because they have goals that they want achieved, and a lot of it is financial. So you know what? Let them make a lot of money. So that's a big learning I had over the years. I learned that from a guy called Dick Colburn, who passed away years ago. I bought a company from him in California called U.S. Rentals, and it was a large company, and he was an interesting fellow. He had been married 10 times to 9 different wives. One wife he married twice. And
the Liz Taylor of logistics.
Yeah, kind of Liz Taylor logistics, the good one. And like I generally do with people who are successful, who I have the fortune to meet, I asked him, so what's your secrets? How'd you build up this enormous company and become a multi-billionaire and everything? And He told me it was about a few things, but it was mainly about compensation. And it was about tying compensation to performance and letting people make a lot of money if they perform really well. And that made a big dent on me, and I absorbed that from him.